we have another Reign FC player on this episode of Coffee Valkyries. We have defender Alyssa Kleiner. Alyssa, hello, welcome.
Hi, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
What was it like when you got that call that, like, you know, Seattle wants you, Brako wants you, and can you just speak on what it's been like for your development as a professional player to learn under him, but also to play alongside some of the league and world's best players?
Yeah. So getting the phone call from Bill actually was really, really good to hear, because we were trying to work something in the off season actually, because I wasn't very happy in DC. So I was actually very happy to reach out to Brako and see if he needed outside backs, and at the time he did. In the end, you know, made a full circle, came back to Seattle, and I can't say, like, I haven't been this happy in a while. It's been such a great experience with like working alongside with Brako and playing under him. He has such an eye for the game that not many coaches have, and he has such a passion that not a lot of coaches have either. So it's been really, really awesome to play under him, and then alongside all these high caliber players like Rapinoe and Steph Catley and all these freaking crazy good players. It's really awesome to get like the experience from them and whatnot.
So we know in our conversation with Brako, he loves to work with the defenders on an individual basis, and sometimes he's a little bit tough on you guys, but it's, you know, for the better good of your guys' development, also making sure that the team is always focused. And you've mentioned that, like, you've learned so many new things from him so far. Has there been, like, you don't have to specify like one thing, but like, has there been something where he was telling you guys, like, during training or film sessions, where like the way he was explaining to you had never been approaching that way for you before, and you were like, wow, this is like something refreshing or revelatory for you?
I think it's more so we do individual trainings once a week with just straight defenders, and we do scenarios that you wouldn't think that happen very often, but they do happen in a game, and they're very uncomfortable situations. So things like that, where a coach personally, single-handedly takes the defenders aside and works on those little things, it's just a great thing, because you don't realize until you're in the game and you're like, oh wow, this does happen a lot. And now I understand what to do in that moment and not be frantic, and I can come out of this keeping possession. So I think that's just such an awesome thing, how he breaks the game down into such little pieces, and we can all learn from that. I mean, because all these little pieces make a big piece. So if we can keep adding those little pieces together, I mean, we're kind of unstoppable. So
Brako sees everything.
he does. He's getting his doctorate in defending. So
Oh, geez.
yeah, I know. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
That's news to us as well.
Doctor defending. My role model was Brandy Chastain growing up, and it was so awesome because I got to go to Santa Clara. I signed with Santa Clara, and she was our assistant coach. So having that role model and looking up to her all these years, and then getting to play at Santa Clara and like actually getting to know her as a human being, and then a coach on top of that and a friend, it was a dream come true. So it was really cool. I can't say a lot of people like meet and like get to have their phone number in your phone.
Yeah.
It was cool like playing under her, alongside with her, because she always put her boots on and she was in whenever she could be. So it was really awesome, like even get to playing alongside of her, even though she was just our assistant coach.
Yeah.
Had you always played defender even before going to Santa Clara?
Yeah, I have. I've always played defense. I've always had a knack for it. Something about that just gives me pleasure about like stopping people or like not scoring a goal. I know forwards always get, you know, the glory and the fame for scoring and whatnot, but I know it's never like, oh yeah, did you see that tackle? Like I know it's not like that, but to myself that's how it feels. So defense has always been like in my heart and where I've always started. So
who is one player on the team that with an on the field skill you wish you had?
Oh, gosh, Rapinoe. Just that girl was born with talent, just like Messi. It's not fair. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen it and over the years, just the way she puts a bend on the ball and a free kick, it's just
insane
amazing.
How good she is, and her vision on the field and her texture on passing and everything. She's just an outstanding player all around. So
for those that may not still be completely familiar with your game and only just seen you coming in like with a spot starter, coming on as a sub, if you can describe your game in 3 words.
In 3 words?
Yeah.
I would have to say determined, aggressive, and grit.
Well, Alyssa, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
No, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
And good luck this week.
Thank you.